Welcome back to Birdies, Beers, and Breakaways. Probably the best weekend of golf all year. I'm not even going to say probably. It is the best weekend of golf all year. We've got myself, we've got Jacob, and then we have a Rory fanatic there in Corey. He's probably living on cloud nine right now. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
good.
doing good.
Corey, you made it through the heartaches and roller
Oh
coaster of the
my
weekend.
god. I mean, I could get into. We'll get into briefly a little bit of some in real life roller coasters I went through while I was in the northern part of Wisconsin. But yeah, come Sunday, that encapsulated everything of what it's like being a Rory fan in a matter of 6 hours. And I saw so many great memes from Twitter. But yeah, um, I'm
Your
very very
your wife did a pretty good job
yeah,
capturing it.
she captured the moment, and then she told me because I was gone all weekend that she was on Masters TikTok all fucking week, and she goes, "Well, maybe we should go one day." I'm like, "I want to fucking go no matter what." I'm like, "If you want to go too, great." Um, but uh, but yeah, so she thought it was hilarious about how emotional I was with everything, the good and the bad going on. She's like, "Do you like that guy?" I go, "Yes." I do a
Yes.
lot. I've been a big fan. But we can definitely get into that. How was your guys' non-masters involving weekend, or was everything encapsulated by Augusta? It almost was for Jacob, and had a little detour on Sunday.
Right. I didn't get to go to the course at all. I wanted to on Sunday, but it was nice. So I decided to spend time with the family. We're going down to Tennessee this weekend coming up, and I know Chase and I are going to get some golf in.
Nice.
Um, but other than that, I was refing or umping Saturday morning. I ump today, ump tomorrow, so I figured I'd spend some time with the family on Sunday. And then my son tried to throw a little wrench in that. Watching the Masters, he's riding around. He goes to pick up his Strider balance bike and whacks himself in the eye with it and busts his eye open. And emergency room run number one with him. Definitely the first, won't be the last. I can tell
I'm
you that.
surprised it's number one, to be honest.
I know he's pretty rambunctious. Um, Ended up not giving him stitches. I don't think they would have been able to successfully. He would not sit still. So they glued it shut and used some Stera strips and
Oh, like
just kind
second
of,
skin.
yep, kind of like that. So now it's like in the process of healing. He's actually done really good at leaving it. He had a little bit of a black eye, like swollen down here, but he's doing pretty good. And then it slowed him down. We got back from the emergency room, got out of the car, and hopped right back on the Strider. So,
Good
hey, at
God.
least he's still going. So,
Yeah, my weekend, Thursday, Friday, I worked, but I made sure to get all my calls that I need to make out of the way first. So I sat up with the iPad and soaked in all of the coverage Thursday, Friday from probably 8 a.m. till the end of the coverage at 5, 6 o'clock. And we did like a Easter egg hunt on Saturday, and then we went to the zoo Sunday morning. But I got back right at as Bryson and Roy were walking up to the first tee, so it was pretty perfect timing to, watch the last guys tee off and finish the coverage there. So a lot of golf watched. Caitlin was sitting next to me as the tournament was going on down the stretch, and she had questions talking about Rory, and I was kind of filling her in on all the history, so she got to watch it with me and see the craziness unfold. She thought it was pretty cool too, and she's been on Masters TikTok and shit now. Like she's just filled with Master stuff and edits and highlights and all that shit now that we watched it yesterday. So
Yeah, I mean Thursday was a travel day for me in the afternoon, so I got to watch a lot of it at the airport and the last little bit on the plane. I had to be there really early because my wife had to go to a work event, so I had 4 hours sitting in the airport to enjoy a couple drinks and watch some golf. And I drew the a lucky straw. I had a few beers and I only got charged for one. So the
nice.
bartender really wasn't on her A game that day, which I will take. But no, this weekend I was at a bachelor party. I got to go whitewater rafting, which was a lot of fun. I got yard sailed from the boat twice. It was just a little 3-man raft. The first one, we went down this probably like 6-foot drop, and the guys leaned forward, and I was at the back steering, and I go right over top of everyone in the front of the boat, so got launched there. Then the tougher rapids, right as we kind of hit into them, the two guys who were paddling in front of me slide backwards and hit me off the raft. So now I'm like floating, eating a ton of water, going through these rapids, just in a life jacket. It was horrible experience, but it was cool. But that part sucked. But no, so watched. Then Sunday came, and basically we had to get to the airport relatively, or leave our cabin early because it was a 4-hour drive from middle of nowhere, fucking Wisconsin, to O'Hare. And then once I got to O'Hare, was like an hour and a half before Rory and Bryson teed off, and I watched the entire plane ride, watched it the entire car ride home from the airport. I made my wife drive, and then I watched the back nine when I got home. So,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I tried.
Was it terrifying getting launched from the raft?
Yep, because it was like 55
probably
degrees outside, and the water had to have been maybe 30 degrees. But once I got in, it was actually okay because we have like compression suits on, so it wasn't as bad. Except my right compression shoe had a hole in it, so when I'm sitting in the boat, my left foot is fine because of the compression, but my right one is getting fucking numb because it's just frozen solid from the water. So that was ass. And you wear
That
this
sounds
like
terrible.
yeah. And then you wear this almost like what's a good way to put it, like a windbreaker jacket, but it's like tight to your neck or in arms. When I got drugged through the water, I came out looking like the blueberry from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory because I had so much water in this thing. It was brutal. It was a brutal experience for the fella.
Were you the only one in the group that got launched?
Nope. There was
okay.
5 of us total who got sent from the rafts.
Damn. Yeah, I'm like, that's not for me. I'm not a big fan of water as it is, so thinking about getting launched
Chase
and dragged. And shit
Yeah,
like
the whole
that.
Chase
drag
doesn't want to
thing.
swim in.
I can't swim in
That
a
sounds
pool,
awesome.
fucking, let alone
It
wet.
was-
Yeah.
It was cool until the fact of where I'm going backwards down the rapids and I have these waves crashing over my head, and you can't stand up. You can't do that because you could get your legs caught, and that's just bad news. And then it was too like side to side, and once it kind of was just like rapids going straight, I could turn and swim to the side, and I was so out of breath from eating all that water. I was like, please have this be the end, and there's not like tougher stuff coming up. And he's like, no, this is where this river ends for the rapids. I'm like, oh, I just needed to breathe. But no, it was fun. I don't know if it'd be on the top of my list to go out of the way and do again, but it was fun. I'm glad I got to say I did it.
Yeah, sounds like an eventful week. You
I
capped
think I'd
off.
rather be golfing though.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I like to stay dry, so.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Did you catch any of the ceremonial par 3 contests or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, how about we get into our beers before we get into...
Yeah, got to get to beers.
Okay.
So I made a deal. I thought it'd be fun to have my wife give me a couple different options to pick from when we went to the store to select the beers. And I'm like, whatever one you pick, I'll buy. She picks this breakfast taco triple IPA. I'm like, not that. I'm like, pick another one. And then she picks this oatmeal chocolate chip cookie stout, like 12% stout. I'm like, please pick another one. She goes, okay, whatever one I pick next, you have to do this one. Paradigm, nice brewery, like some of their other stuff. Irish Celebration. I go, oh, fitting, Rory one. Stout. So we've got 3 options, and one was a triple IPA breakfast taco, and the other 2 were stouts. So
taco. What the fuck is it? Just maple syrup? Like, I don't understand what the breakfast taco.
Hey, if it tastes like a breakfast taco from
I don't know.
2 or 18, I'd be in.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd like it in a triple IPA. That sounds so bad. So I got in celebration. I thought it was fitting. The Irishman winning. I got this Irish Celebration stout. So to Rory.
That's dark.
Dark as fuck.
That's nice. I like that. It's got like that. It's got a chocolatey kind of like oaky aftertaste, but I like it.
Oaky.
Yeah,
It's oaky.
That was pretty bad.
Oaky.
That was pretty bad right there. Getting a solid 7.5.
Really, it looks like a Guinness.
I love
Kind of
Guinness.
looks like you're drinking black coffee.
It does. It does kind of have that
does
aftertaste.
look like
Kind
that.
of is black coffee.
Yeah.
Yep.
I went with the traditional lager, Yingling. I've had it before.
Oof.
I forgot we were recording, and I went to a baseball game and got home and found these in the fridge. So, oldest brewery in America, it says.
New to
Yeah.
Illinois though. New
It
to
is new
Illinois.
to Illinois. I had those Yingling Lights over the weekend. They're really fucking good.
I like it. Never thought I was a big lager guy, and then I tried these ones because I've tried the flights, I've tried the Goldens, haven't tried the black and tan yet,
I haven't had those either.
but these are
My
pretty
dad
solid.
loves
I
the
remember.
black and tan
I'll say,
ones.
I remember your dad was drinking them that one time at your house,
Yeah.
and
He always
no,
ordered like when we went to like Darcy's and stuff because they're like an Irish pub. He'd always get black and tans from them. So
but no, I'd give this I don't know, an 8. It's a good
Yeah.
lager.
nice solid.
You know, I really liked that
Solid
Yingling
pepper.
Flight. I felt like it was the same amount of calories as the Michelob, but I felt like it was more beer, less
More
like water.
Flavorful, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was at Trader Joe's in Nashville and saw this Miro. I don't even know how to say it. Miro meal, honey blonde ale. It looked pretty good sitting on the shelf compared to some of the other stuff. They do like hard kombucha. I would never fucking try
God.
that shit in my life. I would never try regular kombucha, let alone hard kombucha. And that was what was like populating the shelves there at the local Trader Joe's. So this looked the best out of the bunch.
When my wife was living in San Francisco and I went to go visit, her roommate had a case of hard kombucha on the counter. I go, what the fuck is this? So, what are thoughts?
Yeah. It's all right. East Nashville Beer Works. It's I'd give it like a 6.5. It's all right. It's a beer.
It's a beer.
It's a beer. So
Okay. Well,
it-
let's get into the beginning of the encapsulating the entire week. So one thing before we got on the part 3 contest, one thing I thought that was really cool was that being able to track every single shot on the range was such a cool factor. And there were some golf nerds on Twitter keeping track of all the shots taken on the range over the entire Masters and everything, and from each day. And you can kind of see which guys were looking to find their game and not really looking to dial in much. So the golf nerd in me thought that was pretty sweet.
It's really cool. I think we said it last week, but the Masters app has it figured out. The coverage, the lead up to the tournament, all of their social media posts were like top tier this weekend. Like they had a lot of great content. And then like obviously the shot tracker. It's just really cool to see all that come together. Like you said, you could see like Max Homa on the range trying to find a swing. You know, you could see Bryson grinding it out, or some guys like maybe they had it figured out and they just did their warm up routine and kind of moved on. So really cool piece of the Masters that you get to see. That's not at a normal week in week out tournament.
Yeah, but did you guys actually watch the par 3, or did you just kind of see like the...
I just kind of saw the highlights.
I watched some coverage of it. Watched Keegan hole his, and then obviously there's actually my wife was watching it more than I was because she was talking about how cool it is just to see like the families on the tee boxes and just the tradition of it all. It's like super chill. It seems like one of the cool days to go would be like that Wednesday for the par 3 contest, load up on merch, not not necessarily watch tournament golf, but just be a part of the festivities would be really cool. You'd probably get maybe a little bit more interaction out of the guys on Wednesday than you would the rest of the week.
Yeah, I thought seeing all the kids and stuff was cool, and having the guys mic'd up. I watched more so the first half of the broadcast when Wyndham was in the booth with Scott Van Pelt, which I think is a great addition to Masters broadcast. I don't think he was a part of it in previous years, but I could be wrong. But having Wyndham in there, even though I'm not a big Wyndham fan, talking with Spieth and JT and having the kids kind of running around and they're talking to Spieth through an AirPod, and then he's like, no, Sophie, don't eat that, as his daughter is trying to eat some food that's laying on the ground. And I thought it was just a funny encapsulation of the kids coming on, and even some of like the fiancés and girlfriends. You got to think the baby fever's at an all-time ridiculous high, seeing all that stuff out there.
No, don't do it.
Oh no, not on this end. I was just saying, probably in general. I mean, when you're dating or engaged to a pro golfer, and you have a ton of money in the bank, it's probably
Right.
a little different kind of thing. But no, it is really cool. I like the thing that Spieth said. He goes, "It's a lot of fun having the family out here. They make us better people that we're not gambling on every hole." So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday was cool. It kind of gets you fired up for Augusta and just the week of the tournament as is, because you didn't have as much practice this week with the cancellation on Monday and stuff like that. So Wednesday's always cool to kick off the week.
Well, and JJ Spawn choked another playoff. It was
who ended up winning? I didn't
see
who the winner was.
Echevarria.
Oh, Echevarria or something.
Yeah, he ended up coming, I
Yeah.
think, inside the T15, so it's not like he was like miscut from winning the par 3 thing. But yeah, Wyndham kind of made a point. It's like, what if a guy who's won it before then goes and wins the par 3 contest? Like, is the curse then broken because he's won it? Or do you have to like win it then go win it eventually after you win the par 3? I don't know. It's weird. But it was like you could see.
I forgot there was the par 3 curse.
Yeah, you could see a lot of guys who didn't card scores. Fucking Gary Player shot 1 under. It was his 59th time playing in the par 3 contest.
He's a specimen of a human out there golfing at his age, looking way better than Jack Nicklaus does.
Yeah.
I saw a funny question. It was like, how far do you think the ceremonial tee shots go for each guy? And somebody from Barstool actually went and said that Jack's is like got to be like 100. It's like 100-yard tee shot at this point.
Wow.
Really?
Was it dead straight though?
Well, you can't see it. They don't show it. They just show him. They show each player hitting, but they don't show the shot.
So rips one off someone's head.
But somebody said,
I would say it's lined up like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's still narrow as hell.
40 yards. I would not be standing down there with those 3 dudes teeing off.
Nope. Well,
I trust Tom and
Tom
trust
Watson.
yeah, and I trust Gary Player. I don't know about Jack at this point because he hobbled up. You see him
He even
hobble
said,
up. He's like,
I don't even know if I can bend over and tee this up.
I hope I don't fall down.
Yeah.
So he's unfortunately looking a little old at this point.
Another outlandish Gary Player thing I saw is they were talking about him and how he just got his girlfriend. His wife died a few years ago. He goes, "I'm still alive. I'm still well. Find yourself a girlfriend." I tell the other old guys, he goes, "Your wife is gonna die, so find yourself a girlfriend." It was just an outlandish quote for this kind of a dude, saying basically to everyone, "Your wife will eventually die. Find a girlfriend." It's like, what? So that
what
was
a crazy
something. He goes,
old man thing to say.
Yeah, because they basically asked him what the precursor to that was. It looks like he's never had junk food, or they asked when was the last time he had junk food. He goes, "You don't look like this at this age for having junk food all the time. Other people want to do that. That's fine, but they're not going to make it to 90." And he's like, "Your wife is going to die. That's why I just go get a girlfriend." And it was just such a weird transition of a conversation. But Gary Player just seems like that kind of a guy.
What a leap from junk food to dead wife into girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting. I was trying to think, was there any other kind of like cool stories Wednesday going into Thursday before we started?
No, I think just like there was a lot of really like interesting press conferences from some of the guys out there, but other than that, I don't think there was much else going on besides that.
Other than Max Homa just out there pounding the ball, he was.
Yep.
Wasn't he leading the?
He was
shots on the range up until the tournament actually started.
Yeah, up until the tournament started. But another thing, Colin Morikawa quintupled down on the statement of he doesn't owe the media anything. And I think he kind of elaborated more, saying, like, you guys only want to talk to me when I'm upset about just missing something. He goes, when I'm inside the top 10 in the world for a long period of time, you don't talk to me when stuff is going okay or going good. You talk to me when it's great or when it's bad. And he goes, you want me to be consistent with you guys, you got to be consistent with me. Which is it's a fair statement, I think.
Well, and I mean, I don't know if we'll get into it later, but I sent you guys a clip the other day. Shane Lowry was pissed too going into Sunday, or actually, I think it was after. Was it after?
It was after
Saturday?
Saturday. It was after Saturday.
Oh, after Saturday. They're like,
yeah, you're right.
What do you think about Rory? Do you think he gets it done? Why the hell do you think I want to talk about Rory? I'm in this tournament too, and I want to win. You guys only talk to us right after when we're pissed off. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna say something stupid, which is fair.
He's like, I need like 30 minutes to an hour to collect myself before I talk to you guys
cool down
about how shitty my round was. And, a lot of those like Irish, European guys are a little bit more fiery. It seems like, after a bad round where they'll kind of let it loose a little bit, where some of the American guys are a little bit more, typical polished answer. So I love, I think the media needs a little bit of like reeling in on what they can and can't do, I guess, because they're pretty they ask a lot of the players, time and just especially directly after a round of a Masters tournament. When it didn't go your way, you're probably heated. So
and then if you this year. And he's clearly being honest, because he finished his round Sunday and he was one of the first people to congratulate Rory after his round. So he had time to cool down, and because they were like lifelong best friends, right?
Yeah,
like,
they still are.
They grew up in the same town.
Yeah. Not
or
quite
near each other.
Near,
it was like both in Northern Ireland.
No, Shane's
by
Irish.
Each other. I just said Northern Ireland.
Well, Northern Ireland's a different country. Then it is. I mean, Rory, his flag is not an Irish flag.
It's different.
It's Northern Ireland.
But aren't they both Irish?
Technically, yes. There's just Northern Ireland. I don't know why there's two different things. I don't know the history behind it, but if you look at the flags,
Rory's is like yellow, or Rory's is the white and red, and then you got the Irish,
the green, white, and orange.
Green, white, and orange. Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of like the United States of America, and then like the Northern United States of America.
It's kind of almost Canada. Like the same thing. You're right. It's American education. That's what that is. But one more thing that I thought that was funny about Wednesday was, for whatever reason, Victor Hovland went from bringing in movie references to talking about 8 Mile and Eminem and the metal music that he always listens to, is notorious for listening to in his Wednesday presser. I wish I could find the clip, but it was hilarious. He's like, I'm going to try and be like Eminem this week and just focus and just... I'm like, what the fuck is this guy on? But he seems to be
like
all
the
over
Norwegian.
the place.
He's like a Norwegian heavy metal fan.
Yeah.
Like he... somebody asked him to play his like favorite music, and it was legit like
screamo
metal music.
Yeah, but
the shit that I used to listen to.
I still dabble a little bit of metal and stuff like that, but I feel like it has to be. It's got to be certain situations.
Yeah.
So shall we get into Thursday, round 1?
Let's do it.
Rory gets off to a big start. I think it wasn't like too explosive, but he got to 4 birdies, 4 under. His biggest, one of his multiple demons going into the Masters was he always had a shitty Thursday, and it looked like he was going to break that demon, and then doubles 15 and doubles 17, shoots even par, round 1. And then I think a lot of people kind of were like, oh, the Thursday demon and monkey is still on his back.
Yeah,
you could definitely feel that. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I saw a lot of people were saying that they're blaming 13 on his playing partners. What would they have done?
Are you talking?
Didn't he double 13?
No, on Thursday he doubled 15 and 17.
Okay, 15. That's the par 5 that he hit it over the green and then all the way down to okay, it was 15. They said they were blaming that on his playing partners. What would his playing partners have done?
I don't know.
I didn't know if maybe one of them went long and they chipped it up and got it to sit too, and then he tried doing the same thing and his just ran off. I wasn't the airport
Yeah, I
lap.
didn't see it. I know like a couple groups right before him, Cantley did the same
Yeah, he
thing
made an 8.
in the same exact spot, but he hit 2 in the water. So he hit his first one, trickled off. The second one was probably worse, and then the third one ended up. I think he ended up carding an 8, and that was just like one or two groups ahead of him. But I don't know who else. I mean, Akshay was in his group, and then I can't remember who else played with him.
Ludwig.
Ludwig. So I don't know if one of those two guys were over the green too. I think Ludwig might have been, but yeah, I don't know how it could really be on.
I think
them
it was just a
all
little
too
too
much.
aggressive of a shot selection. Like the water clearly slopes, like the green clearly slopes away to the water. Just let it trickle onto the green and let it release. You 2-putt for par. You 2-putt for par.
Yeah, like Scotty was in the same spot, and he, I think, hit the fringe, and it rolled all the way down there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he had one of the better shots from that back part of the green on Thursday. And that was a tricky hole that day because it seemed like a lot of people were going long, and you have that slope from back to front that like just trickles off. Nothing will hold if you get anywhere close to that edge of any of the water on Augusta. Like if it gets too close, it's rolling in. There's nothing stopping it from trickling in. So, yeah, Thursday there was a lot of. If you look at the leaderboard, kind of Thursday early on, you had. Scotty, Ludwig, those were some of your early risers. And then Justin Rose had a later tee time and kind of came storming up there late Thursday. But there was a lot of good golf to watch on Thursday.
There was.
And probably one of the worst rounds you'll ever see as well. So
yeah, this was the first time. So this is the first time that Augusta lowered the maximum age that you could play at. So before it was 70, and so a lot of these spots were being occupied by older guys, and we'd see these high 80s, 90s scores. Well, they lowered it now to, I believe it's 65, 67. I think 67 because this is Bernard's last year. This is the third time over like the last 25 years that in the Thursday round there hasn't been a round in the 80s recorded. But with the asterisks of 2025, that a 90 was recorded in the first round. I think the craziest part is he averaged less than 2 putts per hole. I think it was 1.83. Didn't have a single 3-putt. He just boothed the ball all over the place to shoot 90.
So there was a lot of like, obviously, commotion about him shooting a 90. Obviously, you don't see professionals shoot a 90. Nick Dunlap's 21. He's young. This is his first ever Masters, and he said his game's not good.
Was it really his first Masters?
Maybe not.
I honestly don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe last year was, but I thought I saw something about it being his first, and he said his driver is just awful right now. There was a video of him. I don't know which hole it was, but hitting his drive, and it went straight right off of the club face. Like you would never imagine a professional golfer hitting it. And then he scrambled. Like that was way off to another fairway, or it was crazy. So he struggled. It is a crazy stat that he doesn't 3-putt once and shoots 90. That clearly means he was out of position early on each hole. But besides him shooting a 90, I was keeping an eye on one of the Hogyard brothers because he had a crazy round. They were showing him quite a.
Oh my god!
They were showing quite a bit of him because he bogeyed, then doubled to start his round, and then stretch holes from 3 till 8. He birdied 5 of those 6, bogeyed 9, doubled 10. And then on the back 9, he had 3 double bogeys and an eagle. So if you look at his scorecard, it was one of the craziest scorecards you'll ever see because he ended up, after starting out 3 over through 2 holes, he finished the front 9 like 2 under par, 3 under par. So he was kind of up at the top of the leaderboard really early Thursday. And then he has 3 doubles on the back 9 and just implodes. But it was kind of fun to watch that.
That Nick Dunlap shot a 71 on Friday, though.
Yeah, super impressive.
Yeah, Billy Horschel kind of even stepped up and said, like, a credit to that kid because realistically he had no chance making the cut to go out and grind out a round and play well. I mean, I think one thing...
Honestly, I feel like most other players would have probably withdrew.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, I'm done.
I don't know if it was like maybe like a seasoned guy who's played at Augusta a handful of times, but I feel like also at the same point, like you get a chance to play a tournament round of golf at Augusta National. It's like go out and just
Right.
play and have fun. You're like I'm like this guy could go out and shoot 58 and he's still not making the cut. So
Yeah.
When
he
Nick,
he did play last year, by the way, in
okay,
2024.
okay.
He missed the cut at plus. He was +7.
Okay, well, second year, I guess. So,
Yep.
there was a couple cool things about like that Friday round of golf for him. He said that he showed up to the golf course and had a ton of players come up to him and just like kind of calm him down and be like, dude, you're here for a reason. Like, go out and play your game. Don't worry about shooting a 90, because I feel like it, some of those guys would be like pissed, obviously pissed off that they played that bad, but also then have like that spotlight of all the people talking shit that he just shot a 90 at the Masters. Like, that's just kind of shitty. But so he had a lot of golfers come up to him and say like, you can come back from it. I think Scotty went up to him and talked to him, and then he said that night, Thursday night, his caddy went to Walmart and picked him up a bucket of balls, and he just hit his driver out into the woods, like a whole bucket of balls out into the woods behind his Airbnb. Obviously didn't know, where they were going, what they were doing, but he just wanted some extra, reps.
wow.
So he had a bucket of balls out into the woods behind his Airbnb on Thursday night, leading into the Friday round to try to regain some confidence or just take out some anger on a golf ball, I guess. So, and not be on Augusta to do it.
Right.
That's crazy. But I think another one of the really wild stories, I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on this, was Jose Luis Ballester, the reigning USAM champ, plays with the reigning Masters champion. And guy was playing, other than one hole, he had a triple, I believe it was on hole 5 or 6. But if he didn't have that, I mean, he kind of shit the bed on Friday, so he probably still would have missed the cut. But played some pretty good golf, but he also had a pretty unique experience of his first pass around Augusta.
There's a lot of spots today.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the old heads of the golfing world, him with his upside down lettering hat. A lot of people were pissed about that. It looked like a goofball. And then pissing in Race Creek and saying he would do it again. I don't know if this guy's ever going to step foot on the grounds again.
I wonder what the prestigious, guys that are members at Augusta think of a player pissing in Race Creek. But the doubling down is what got me. He's like, I'd do it again. I'm like, no, find a fucking bathroom, dude. There's got to be plenty out there. He said
there's one on every tee box. He said there's one on every tee box.
Yeah, he said that because he's like, oh, JT was taking a long time. It was the hole that, I don't know what he did. I think he had a bad chip that bladed across, so then he had to come back. He was in
the Azaleas. It was on Amen Corner. I think it was on 13.
It was 12 to 13 or something like that. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, JT had something going on. Oh, that was the one that he hit the ball into the Azaleas, but then hit a decent other shot.
It was the par 5, yeah.
He lost the ball and played the side. Yeah. JT was taking a while, so I just figured I'd, go pee real quick, and I didn't think anybody saw me, and then they clapped as loud as they have all day for me. Jesus.
Yeah, not the best looks, I would say. It's not something I would do if I was ever invited to play at Augusta National.
No.
I think we've all pissed on a golf course, but I don't think we would pee on Augusta.
No.
Like, I'm not even going to go pee in the woods during the club championship, let alone Augusta, like the Masters.
What? It's insane how his thought process was like, I have to pee, and why not do it in Race Creek?
So how many college tournaments has he just gone and pissed in the fucking woods or creek or whatever?
Probably a multitude, because no one really gives there's not a ton of people out there unless it's the Natties. So you probably could get away with it,
I guess.
But I think Rose left Thursday with what, a 4-stroke lead?
3. 65, and then Scotty and Oberg were 3 shots. Oh, Corey Connors too, all 3 shots behind going into round 2, which is a pretty big lead. If you usually think it's like a a tie at the top of the leaderboard, 1-2 strokes behind, but 3 seems to be quite not comfortable, obviously, because it's only after round 1, but a pretty commanding start to the tournament for Rose. So
Yeah, and Rory was 8 back.
wow, yeah.
Round 2 comes around, and a lot of moving and shaking happened. I mean, Akshay grinded to make the cut. Guys like JT and Speed seemed like they were grinding to make the cut. The cut kept bouncing up and down between 1 over, 2 over. I think it went to 3 over at one point. Ended up sticking at 2 over. Bryson really kind of showed up too. It seemed like a lot of things were clicking for him. He's just seeming to keep showing in Masters, and he was putting and scrambling so well. I think the thing that stood out for me with Bryson is, as much as he's teed up high, let it fly, beat the fuck out of the golf ball type of guy, his sand play was ridiculous.
His bunker play is out of this world. Going back to obviously the bunker shot, for the U.S. Open,
which he just got a
50
plaque
yards
for,
up.
by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. He got a
I didn't
commemorative
see that.
plaque, and they made him hit the shot again. I don't know if he hit it as good as the one at the U.S. Open, but they put a plaque in the ground out by that bunker.
That's sweet. But yeah, his sand scramble on this whole tournament was phenomenal. You'd think he was kind of shaping up to get a bogey after hitting in the sand, and he would always stick it within 5 foot for a par putt. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the other people, Koepka makes a quad on 18 to miss the cut, which was fucking hysterical. Some other big miscuts, DJ, Finau, Phil, Adam Scott, Cam Young without a 4-putt. But I think the sad miscuts were Freddie and Bernhard Langer were so close to making the cut. Freddie was 1 under after Thursday, which is he now is the oldest person to shoot under par in tournament at Augusta.
And he had the longest span from his first ever
time.
under par round to his current, which was what, 43?
Long
42?
time.
43 years.
I love watching those guys play.
And he had a whole
just because it's such a different. It's just a different style of golf because they're so much shorter off the tee compared to the other guys. But Augusta shapes well for them to where they can still be in position. But yeah, he holds out with a 4 hybrid from the middle of the fairway on the front 9, and he just had a really solid day on Thursday. It's just a feel-good story to watch Freddie Couples' smooth swing out there, fucking grinding out the Masters once again. And then even Langer, he had a decent round. I think he was 1 over on Thursday, and both of them were right on the cut line all day Friday, trying to grind it out, and they just lost steam at the end. Bernhard actually bogeyed 18 to miss the cut.
Yeah, I know Freddie. I thought Freddie bogeyed 17 or bogeyed 18 to miss it as well.
Yeah, so Freddie ended up missing by 2. He bogeyed, I think, 17 and 18, or 2 down the stretch. But yeah, Cameron Young's 4-putt wasn't even he was going to miss the cut no matter what. But that 4-putt was from 4 feet and in. If you watched that clip of
the putt he made was longer than any of the other 3.
Yeah,
he just lost it. But,
it was just tough. But I think Freddie, kind of seeing him walk off, he looked sore. I mean, did he really want to grind out the weekend of Saturday and Sunday?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
He's probably
those guys,
tired. It's 7,700 yards. That's a you're getting your fucking steps in.
And it's not a flat 7,700 either. It's the fucking rolly, some of the craziest undulations you'll ever see on a golf course at Augusta. But I think my highlight on Friday was watching Max Homa have a really awesome round. Obviously, he wasn't up towards the lead or anything, but we've talked about him every week being at the worst
5 straight
point
miscuts
in his career. Yeah, he hasn't made a cut since last July, is what they said. The last July was the last time he made a cut, because the other tournaments that he technically played in all weekend were non-cut tournaments. So he's just been playing horrible golf, and he seems to play well at Augusta. And Thursday, the broadcast team talked about how he needed to stop his after shot antics where he'd literally do his routine. He you could just see him struggling with his swing on Thursday, and he scrambled his ass off on Thursday to shoot, I think, 2 over, 1 over on, or even one of those scores, and then he grinds out Friday really well, shoots like 2 under, and just had a really awesome round. So that was there was a lot of coverage on him. I watched a ton of him on Friday, and it was just cool to see him out there playing good golf, and making the cut.
They
Yes.
kind of said it best though. Putting himself in those weird places that he has to make a golf shot sometimes brings out, like, gets you back into your groove the best, and it clearly worked because he scrambled hard Thursday and still scrambled quite a bit on Friday too.
Yeah, see, one thing I want to kind of talk about before we make our way into the weekend was a lot of the non-Rory fans on the Twitter sphere talking about how you can't watch Bryson. They're not showing live guys. They're not showing this, which I'd agree to a point on the main broadcast. You could kind of tell. Like, Tyrrell was playing with Scotty on Saturday. Didn't really see a lot of Tyrrell. He also wasn't up near the hunt. But the thing is you can watch every single shot of the guy on the Masters app. There's half of the course is streamed specifically on holes, so you can watch them there. I think it's just like a shitty excuse.
How do you watch every shot of them?
You could rewatch every single shot on the Masters app. After they hit it,
If you click on their scorecard, if you clicked on the scorecard,
you could watch
each hole.
Oh, so not live. You
No,
can go back and
you can go back
highlights.
and rewatch every single shot. But like, it's not.
I
like
think that's what they were bitching about. It wasn't they're
I think
bitching
it
that
was
he
they were
wasn't in
bitching
one of the
about-
featured groups.
It was that, and that he
What's
wasn't
that?
on the main broadcast.
There was no
featured-
main broadcast on Wednesday or Thursday and Friday. There was only featured groups and then whole group.
From 2 to 6 on ESPN. They had
Main broadcast.
main broadcast. But
Oh,
Thursday he was in a featured group, right? On the Masters app, he was in a featured group on Thursday. You saw quite a bit of him on Thursday, and then Friday you didn't see when he was going up the leaderboard on Friday. You saw none.
I didn't see a single shot.
I know.
I even mentioned it on our group text, like, where the fuck's Bryson? Because you just see him birdie creeping up the leaderboard. So I understand it, but at the same time, Masters, to me, if it was a different tournament, I'd say maybe it's like a live bias, but I don't think the Masters has any. Do they have real bias with PGA versus
I don't think
live?
it's them. I think it's the streaming companies who have the main broadcast, whether it's CBS or whatnot. And I think it's bullshit. I mean, the Masters, like the majors, is the time where we get to see all these great players. And like I was talking about in the group chat, and Jacob, you're kind of like, oh, you're flipping on both sides of this guy being bipolar. But at the end of the day, is he could be a 20-plus PGA Tour winner on tour if he stayed and he's playing these tournaments. He's playing great golf, but it's just going to be discredited. I think even if he gets to 5, I still think he's not going to be recognized in anywhere near same level as other guys who have 5 because of him not playing the players, playing Arnold Palmer, playing, I don't know, think of the major tournaments. Harbour Town, like, he's just not playing them. So, and
well,
I think yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think that before his career is over, I mean, there's already rumors that he wants out of Live, but there's no way Live lasts that much longer. It reminds me of the XFL. Like, it's gonna fail at some point.
I hope it doesn't last much longer, because I think the whole layout of it is stupid. I think team golf can be done way better. Speaking of team golf, 2028 confirmed team golf in the Olympics, men and women playing together.
Oh, that's sick.
Confirmed. So that
I said that. I said they need team golf or like doubles in like a
4-ball?
2v2. Yeah, 4-ball or whatever. That's sick. Anyways, well, it's not even. I don't even like. I want Live to be done because I think it's bad for the game of golf as far as like a product is concerned. Because if we had all these guys back in regular tour events, the regular tour events would be so much better. I know they're not playing every week, but like when you get to the Masters, you get to any of the major tournaments, you see how good the game of golf is with like the live guys mixed in. Even if, not all of them are super competitive, you saw a good handful of them make the cut and be, somewhat competitive on the weekend. And I think the game of golf just doesn't need it to be separated like that anymore. So I hope it doesn't last much longer because I think it's bad for the game of golf overall. But I think live golf hardos are kind of weird though. The guys that are like sticking up for live and being the ones on Twitter making a big gripe about not seeing them. It's like, dude, you made the decision to go to live. Like they're not going to show you because you made
Right.
that decision. So I see both sides to it.
But Katie's brother, my brother-in-law, texted me Sunday. How am I going to watch Rory and Bryson if they won't show Bryson on TV? I'm like, he's in the last
final
group.
fucking group. He's gonna be on TV.
He's gonna be on TV, buddy.
Fuck.
No, they won't show him because they hate live, and I'm like,
well, like
you read too far into it.
Yeah, you got too far into the bots. But one thing is Chairman Ridley, Fred Ridley made a comment where it's like other majors are looking to have moves of recognizing live points to bring guys in, and he's like, we think we're doing just fine with our special invites. I mean, realistically, I think there's only a couple guys from live who could maybe be there. It's like Abraham Answer. He's been playing good golf. I don't fucking know anyone else.
Yeah, I was looking. I think you asked that like last podcast, like who should be invited from live that's not like an auto invite. And I was looking through the list and I couldn't. Abraham Answer was like maybe the only one that had some like good credibility on the tour before he left that's playing decent golf on live that might get an invite. But the rest of the guys, there's no way.
Nope. Nope. But
other than Matthew Wolf, he should probably be there.
Fucking God. Everyone thought he was going to be a game changer. He came in like the Farmers Insurance Open 3 weeks in a row, and everyone's like, this guy's going to win majors, and he went nowhere.
He sucks.
But now we're to Saturday, and the Rory fans have some fucking life. 6 straight fucking threes this guy makes.
It was
6
insane.
of them.
That run to start Saturday was incredible. The chip in on 2 was nuts, and then that just kind of set the tone for most of that front 9.
Of those 6, two were pars, 1 eagle, and 3 birdies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we were sitting. This was after rafting, and we were sitting in a parking lot waiting to get taken a paintball, and I have it up. I go, Rory's 2 under through 2 holes, or
3 under.
He's 300 through 2 holes, and we're like, what? I'm like, he's 3 under through 4 holes. And it's like he's made 6 threes in a row. Then he made bogey, couple pars, another bogey, and then he ended up making arguably, which isn't even, this shot probably isn't even in his top 3 from the weekend, I would think, which is bananas to say. The shot on 15, dead center fairway, and just fucking sticks it. And I don't know if you guys saw the comparison from his shot to Tiger, and both of them just pimp walking after it.
that was Sunday's round.
No. The one from the middle of the fairway on 15.
Oh, okay.
Just because
You're
there's
not
like
talking about the one off to the left that he swooped around. Oh, okay. All right.
like the one middle of the fairway from 15 sticks it to 2-3 feet for eagle, and it just matches the or it wasn't 2-3 feet.
No, I'm not disputing that.
Oh,
I'm disputing the Tiger comparison.
I'm saying that the movement was the exact same.
I know. My joke was going to be it took Rory
11 years to complete the Grand Slam.
11 took. Well, no, I'm talking about to win the Masters. It took Tiger 1.
Yeah, it took Tiger 1 year to do the Grand Slam, and took Rory 11. Took Rory 17 times to win the Masters. Yeah.
No, but it was a really good shot. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong. He Yeah, he stuck it to 2 or 3 feet. I forgot. I was thinking about
The Sunday one.
Sunday.
We'll get into
which
that
was
one. We'll get into that one.
We'll get into
But more crazy stuff from Saturday. Scotty's putter failed him. The sky.
That seems to be the story. It's either hot as shit or it's awful.
It doesn't even like it. If it's not like hot, if it's just okay, he probably wins again. This is the thing. Like Rory played great, but Rory would have had to not make those doubles to beat Scotty. Like if Rory doesn't make those doubles or even just half of that, he wins by 5. But the thing is,
the funny thing is, like, Scotty's not even being talked about, and he finished
fourth. Yeah, dude,
he's right there.
He's still so fucking
good. And he was not happy.
No,
he was not happy with the week. His game, like he's tee to green, like he's really good. His iron play's been solid. I don't think he's playing like as the way he wants to all around. Is whether it's off the tee in the fairway or on the green, but it's always his putter of him lipping out or missing what you would consider, especially on Augusta, really good chances at birdie that just he would miss, or he'd miss like a par save, end up bogey in the hole, and then it just felt like he couldn't come back from that. So he shot even par on Saturday, which isn't bad, but like, it's a moving day. You want to move up the leaderboard. You don't want to stay at even par. So, he wasn't the only one to struggle though with his putter, because Justin Rose said he left a 69 out on the course. He said his ball striking was absolutely amazing on Saturday, and then his putter went cold on the back nine, and he shot a 75. He said he couldn't make shit on the back nine on Saturday and left the course. He said probably the some of the like maddest he's ever been leaving the course, because he knew he left a lot out on the course on the back nine.
The one person who was kind of crazy on the Saturday, was Zach Johnson. I'm not the biggest fan of Zach Johnson. I'm really not a fan of him at all. Shoots 6 under.
He's 6 under. He's taped to high hell. He's got all this. You watch him play. He's got tape out the ass on like both arms. He looks like the tape's just fucking holding them together out there.
Well, yeah, I think it was. I don't know if it was Jim Nance or Nick Faldo called it tendonitis tape. It's KT tape, unless it was a different brand. But it's, I guess, like used for tendonitis, like help for muscles and stuff like that. But he called it tendonitis tape, and I thought that was weird. But no, I think to me,
Bryson stayed super consistent too. Like he shot, what he shoot like 69, 68, 69 on the first 3 days. So I thought he never went super low, but it was, I think the key to the Masters is consistency. Unless I guess you're Rory.
Yeah,
but
I think Wacko did not bad. I think he did better than what I thought he would. Or where did he finish? Was it inside T40 or no?
Neiman?
Yeah, was it T35?
Let's see. T29.
Oh, so he still didn't get a T25. Kind of what everyone was expecting of him from his previous Masters and previous major appearances. But he had some really good shots, but he had some really shit ones, and his shit outweighed the good. I still think he can maybe get it done, win a major. I just don't know when. But no, it was, and then the other big story was Homa continues to find his game.
Yeah. 3 under on Saturday. Put himself in like a pretty decent position. Like obviously he was probably 9 strokes back, but if going into Sunday, if you look at him shooting like a 66, that's another T5, in his bag. So he put himself in a really good position. I thought some other guys like who was it on Saturday had a good round? It was Rory and Zach both shot 66. Patrick Reed had like a 69. Spieth had a good day on Saturday. He shot a 69 on Saturday.
Max Grazerman shot a 69.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Shoffley,
I think
Shoffley was kind of just steady all week.
The other thing that stood out from Saturday is they made notes of how Scotty closed down the putting green. Bryson was there for fucking ever. And this guy hit so many fucking range balls over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think the total.
Did he end up going over 1,000?
The total number by the time he finished was 1,029 golf balls, and I think that's a big reason why he fucking lost it come the second 9 at Augusta. He was just out of energy. I don't care if how big of a gym guy you are. I mean, 1,000+ golf balls over 4 days, not including the rounds you're playing and the walking. That's a lot. And they're saying
And
he's
you know
working,
how hard he swings? It just has to take so much energy.
like he just looked
He's
burnt out.
yeah, you could tell me all day long that like those because he said in his post round interview on Sunday, he said that he just couldn't figure out his irons. He said it was every time he'd step onto the range, it was not dialed into where he wanted to be. So I think he was trying to find a swing on his iron play. He said he couldn't get it in control, and play shots where he wanted to. Um, but still, I don't think you can tell me that 1,000 shots is going to help your game come Sunday afternoon.
No.
No, I don't think it is.
And did you see him like go through 5 or 6 different driver heads on Tuesday or Wednesday to figure out what the best head would be?
You talk about it. Yeah, I know he's like a golf hardo. He's kind of a nerd. It's a little much to like maybe the average viewer, not even maybe even the average viewer, just even like regular golf fans are like, dude, you're too much.
Mhm.
So cycling through 5 golf heads is weird. He said he had was it LA golf as his iron?
Golf.
Is his iron?
Lab.
I think is it Lab or LA?
Well, Lab
LA
does drivers now. That's who does his driver, I think.
was,
Irons are
I
different.
thought
I
he said
think.
LA golf.
LA's probably right.
I think you are right.
He said they made a new iron for him that has more weight on the toe, so it keeps it flatter. And he's like, I've got so much technology on the way soon. I can't wait. Like that's what he said Sunday after his round. I'm like, dude, you can't be talking about fucking golf technology after your round on Sunday. That's where I'm like, I like Bryson. I was rooting for him all the way up until Sunday, and then it shifted. I was like, I don't think I can root for Bryson when Rory's chasing his Grand Slam, but there was a couple points this weekend that I just didn't like Bryson's commentary or some of the shit he was doing. So
He uses Avoda golf irons, Crank golf driver and fairway woods, and LA golf shafts and putter. And I don't think Lab actually makes a driver now. That was
an April Fool's spoof joke.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because LA is like there's like a Bryson, there's a whole Bryson.
It looked like a normal driver. I
collection.
thought it was a legit thing. They're like, it's $800 because we have a premier shaft in it already, and I thought it was a legit thing. It looked like a regular normal ass driver, like it wasn't some goofy ass thing, and it was normal.
While we're talking about it though, what's your guys' opinion on lab putters?
Yeah.
They're a gimmick. I hate them.
But Sunday, I mean, it seemed like it was going to be a 2-horse race. Then
one horse died.
One supposedly died. Rory opens with double. Now we're tied. Then Rory
No, I'm not talking about that horse. I'm talking about the other one.
Oh, Bryson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
died
it wasn't until like what hole like 7 or 8 where he was officially kind of like dead, because we had
because he had it tied up after hole
1.
2.
1.
No, yeah, 1, and then he took the lead on 2
Mm-hmm.
or 3.
Three putted. He 3-putted 3.
Yeah, and then Rory birdied to take the lead back.
So another 2-shot swing.
Another 2-shot swing.
And then he
bogeyed 3 and 4.
And
4.
And Rory birdied 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was just par, and then he doubled 11.
Yeah. Because he put it in the water with his second
That double
shot.
though to start out the round, I was sitting there on the couch, just got settled in. He hits on 1 and 2, he barely hits the lip on the fairway bunker on both 1 and 2, and you're like fuck, he's out of position. That bunker on 1, like
the driver's
it's a
going
hard
all over the place.
Yeah, the bunker on 1's hard to get out of in the first place to get it into a position to save par, and then he fucking doubles it, and you're like, oh shit, this is not good.
No,
this is like the Rory of
The descent.
It's 2011
Starts.
is coming back. 2011 is coming back.
And then he kind of just steadied it out. He said that he was the most nervous he had ever been stepping onto a tee box on Sunday. He said the nerves like had a pit in his stomach. He was forcing food down his throat. Like he couldn't he just was just full of nerves. And I was talking about it a lot with Caitlin while we were watching it, and even in our group chat, like how nervous can you like possibly be and still try to focus on like making good contact and playing at peak golf on one of the hardest courses out there? It's just crazy to me.
Well, he mentioned that the double bogey almost
Settled.
shook the nerves. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it.
Made it
All right,
real. He's like, okay,
I'm
I
here.
gotta,
Yeah,
yeah.
But I saw a lot of memes from the Roy round, but some of the other cool stuff from Sunday. Homa once again played really good, solid, consistent golf. Patrick Reed kind of went bananas. One hop eagle on 17.
17.
If you didn't have that 3-putt birdie that turned into bogey from 5 feet, could be different conversation. He could be in the playoff as well. He played some really good golf. Scotty looked like he was going to make a push. Couldn't get the putter to go. Ludwig was right up there.
I thought Ludwig was the guy to make the charge. He was looking really good, kind of in that middle.
He got to 10.
Yeah, he got to 10. He played amen corner really well. And down the stretch, you just thought that out of the guys at the top of the leaderboard, Ludwig would be the one to kind of hang around, post a score, and put pressure on Rory. And then Justin Rose decided to do it even better.
He had 10 birdies, right? Was it 9 or 10 he had on Sunday?
Justin Rose had 10 fucking birdies on Sunday.
Yeah, he had a hell of a scorecard.
His scorecard was insane. His front nine was like flawless. He wasn't like out there birdieing a ton on the front nine, but I think he parred and birdied all of the front nine, and then he was super electric too. Like his fist bump on 12 when he made his birdie putt on 12, he and then even on the tee on 12, he stuck it to what 10, 12 feet, and like he had this huge fist pump on the tee on 12, which you don't see a lot of guys, celebrating a tee shot on 12. Like they're kind of locked in still. So it was really cool to see him fired up, and you could tell he was making a push. He had a couple bogeys in the middle of that, though. I think he had an eagle putt on 15, missed it for birdie, and then bogeyed 16.
No, he birdied 16, I thought, because he put it close. He bogeyed 17.
Bogeyed 17, and then made that fucking awesome putt on 18.
Yeah. But to kind of go back to Rory, I mean, struggle opening, birdies 3 and 4. I mean, like 1 and 2, tee ball's clearly not working. 3 and 4 makes some good swings. 5 pushes the tee shot. Right? 5, was it 5 he hit his first crazy shot? 5 or 6?
It was 7.
7.
I thought it was 7. Where the shot out of the rough.
Yes.
Where he hoisted it over the trees.
On 4, he had that shot behind in the pine straw. He ended up making birdie.
4's a par 3.
5 he made par. From
5
behind
he bogeyed.
No.
6 is the one.
He hit it out of the pine straw?
6 is a par 3.
Yes. Yeah, it goes 4 2 4. Yeah. What's the par 4 with the big bunkers on the left side of the fairway? Is that 3?
3 he birdied.
Is that the one with the bunkers on the left side? It's long par 4. It's like 490. I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the one he drove it through the fairway into the shit, then hit this cut 9-iron out from the pine straw around the tree in the TV tower, makes birdie. Then he birdies 4. But before I get into the crazy shot, I don't know if you guys saw the clips of when people are seeing that the scoreboard is going to change, and when it changes and Rory's made another birdie or two, and everyone just goes bananas all over the course. I thought that was fucking awesome, and to me it seemed like through social media and other places that Bryson had more fans in the crowd, but then when you see like the scoreboard changing with Rory, that it's probably Rory who has more of the support in the crowd.
Yeah, the support. I love the Masters is insane. No phones, and even the players were talking about it all week. The patrons are locked in, and they're not on their phones. They're not videotaping. They're not doing social media shit. They're locked in on the actual play. They're more interactive. I heard a ton of guys say that it was awesome this week for them just to be, around spectators and patrons who aren't glued to their phone and yelling stupid shit while they hit the ball off the tee. This is the shot. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's so fucking like
It was hole
Shot.
5.
no, hole 7. This is the shot I'm talking about on hole 7.
Through that
You
small
guys
little
can-
window where he lashes his club.
Yes, this is the shot I was talking about
Yeah.
on hole 7.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
He
just
fucking rips it, and he walks after it. I don't know if they show,
him laughing.
He had a few of those.
and that's right up towards. You're like, holy shit, his iron play is
Yeah.
locked in.
Well,
He ended up missing the putt, parring
Yeah.
that hole, but that shot was insane. I typed it in my in my notes on my phone after that because I was like, I want to highlight that shot because he was so locked in during that shot. You could just tell like he was on it at that point.
Well, everyone was kind of like, "Oh, where'd it go?" Oh, then all you see is just, "Oh," and the camera zooms in on the ball, and it almost goes in. He almost makes it 2, and it cuts back to him, and he's laughing.
Yeah.
That was a part of the roller coaster. There was a Twitter thread I found where it's like, "We're doomed. He's so back. Oh, we're winning it. Oh, we're not winning it. Oh, he's all the way back. Oh, it's not our year. Oh, it's so his year." And it's just like, oh my fucking god! Someone like make up your fucking mind.
It definitely was the most like Rory weekend I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was the Rory-esque. You could not get any more like typical Rory fashion on the end of that tournament and the back stretch.
The only more Rory it could have gotten was Justin Rose winning.
Yeah, for real.
Oh. So I mean, the thing is like it became it like Rose made the charge and there's other guys looking and Rory was falling, but the thing is after Bryson kind of died, like you said that the other horse just got shot. It was Rory versus Rory. It wasn't anyone chasing him down. He was bringing them closer, and then he would go away, and then he would go back down. It's like
He
that
got the
wedge
14
shot.
under at one point.
He was that wedge shot at fucking 13. It's 101 yards. He missed his target by like 25 yards, I think the announcer was saying.
And I didn't understand why did he lay up anyways. All week.
I don't either. I was
He
confused.
off the
too.
tee. He made the
waited for it.
decision off the tee that he was gonna, because he hit 3-wood off the tee.
I know,
Did
which
he?
was so weird.
Oh, okay.
He hit
Because
3-wood off the tee. Because I was
I
like,
saw him do that, and I'm like, now he's not playing to win. He's now playing not to lose. Like just how we talk about all
the
these.
time.
Yeah, and he's playing in defense. He's not out there playing Rory. Like
yeah. I think he wanted to. I honestly understand the decision a little bit of like minimizing a blow up score, right? Like his thought process was 3-wood, 120 yards in, stick it on the green, 2-putt, get out of there with par, and you're still up 3-4 shots at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously he makes the mistake of hitting it into the water, but I understand the decision of like, all right, let's get it on the green, 2-putt, get out of here. Let's not make a double bogey. Obviously the double bogey happened anyways because he hit that I can't believe that wedge. I literally made an audible gasp when I saw that thing go in the water. I was like, oh my God. Because you're just
He missed it.
You
He
can
missed
tell
the
he's
target
playing
by like 30 yards.
Yeah, you can tell he's playing. He is playing conservative at that point to make the decision off the tee to just kind of go for a 4 or a 5, and him missing the target by that much is insane to me because he was so dialed in on wedges and his iron play all week, and then clearly I think he was probably in his head at that point.
Well, they basically.
I thought
crazy
the
thing-
tournament was over.
You thought he lost it there?
Yeah,
I thought the tournament was over.
I thought he
that would be
lost
the
it
end of
at 1, at 2, at 3. Then he made birdie, and then I thought he was winning by 60 strokes when he shot it up through the trees. And then he made another bogey, and I thought we're doomed. And then
11 was
the ball
scary.
almost went. Oh my!
11 was, you're like, no. Like I was at, when it was rolling towards the water, I was like, please fucking
I was
stop.
sitting there blowing on my phone, like, like please stop. Go
But then directly after that, because Bryson at that point was only like a stroke or 2 behind at that point, so you're like, it's still tight. And Justin and Ludwig hadn't made their complete run yet, so it looked like Rory. It was still Rory and Bryson, and then Bryson missed his target really bad on 11 too. Completely, he said he missed his target. He he's weird, so he says like 10 degrees left. I don't like he doesn't say 10
Yeah.
yards left or whatever. So he said I missed my target 10 degrees left, and like that's how bad my iron play was this weekend. I was like, well, fuck the 10-degree shit. But I just at that point you're like, all right, I think Bryson's out of it because I thought Rory was going to save par on 11, and then he bogeys it, and it's like, well, that wasn't as good of a hole. Like he could have had another 2-shot swing essentially on Bryson at that point, and it was just a 1-shot swing.
Yeah, the thing about Bryson that's weird for me is like after he hits a bad shot, you can kind of see and listen to him, especially in the last group when they're showing all of his shots. Is he's looking at the club and he's looking at his caddy. He goes, "That shouldn't have happened." And I'm like, "What do you mean that shouldn't have happened?" Like he's disagreeing with the result of the shot, is what it feels like. And the whole 10 degrees thing, it's like you're not reinventing the wheel, saying it went a different direction in a different way. I just feel like it's just like stop trying to be niche at times.
Do you think he has a weird swing?
Yes.
He's very like stiff and straight. Like his arms are straight the whole time.
Yes, I think it's
his
so
foot
odd.
goes up too. His foot goes up in his backswing.
Yeah, his front foot pivots and then his back foot does too. Yeah, and then
I think it's all about getting like into the pocket faster with more speed. I think is what he's talked about. Is that channel that the golfer has with their swings that he can be in that longer and generate more power is what I think it is.
I don't know. And then he's got grips that are like this fucking big.
Jumbo grips on everything.
They're too big. I have mid-size.
I don't know how he has that much room in the bottom of his bag.
No, yeah, true.
It's gotta be full.
He's like,
I never thought of that one.
In there,
He's got an ultra wide bottom bag, his crusher's bag. It's like a keg. He's got a kegerator at the bottom.
He's got a wide body kit on his fucking.
the caddy's carrying an extra 5 pounds in grips, fucking around the course.
No shit. Yeah.
Well, then we get to hole 15, and Rory pushes his tee shot to behind the trees left, still in the fairway.
So this is when I was on my way to the hospital, so I didn't see any of this.
Yeah. In the middle of all this, we get a fucking text from Jacob. He's like, "Can't watch, going to ER," and I'm like, "Everything okay?" Like I was like, "Hold up, everything good?" And then it was like
sends
a couple
Snapchat
minutes
of
later,
Evel Knievel with his head busted.
Yeah, it was a couple minutes later. He's like, "Yeah, busted eyebrow." I was like, "Dude, that's the worst timing. Worst timing to bust your eyebrow."
Little shithead.
I've been like, you're waiting. You're gonna put some band-aids on, and you're waiting for at least an hour. But I mean, I see that shot, and he hits it, and it's kind of like one of those things. Like Tiger did it, Rory does it, other players do it, where when they walk towards it with a fucking purpose, you had some sort of creeping feeling that it was going to be good, and that thing could not have been fucking better. That was the craziest thing. I just couldn't believe
it. The shot shape and the tracer on that ball flight is it's goddamn sexy is what it is.
It's golf porn. It's golf porn is what it is.
Golf porn is what it is. I was like, holy shit, did he just pull that shot off? Because off the tee, you always think left is bad because you're blocked out by the trees. But I was like, oh, he's got a shot at it. And then you actually kind of see what he's dealing with. And he's like, this is a tough shot. Yep. Like, it's not easy. And he stuffs it. I mean, as close as you can get on a shot like that. Obviously misses the eagle putt, which if he would have drained the eagle putt, I was ready to call it there. Like, but he didn't. He made birdie, and then
that got him to 11.
14. Was it?
No, because that would have gotten to 11, and then because he parred 16, then he birdied 17, which would. I would argue that 15 would be the shot of the tournament for him. Or like the shot of the day. Whatever you want to kind of say. Because that was fucking impossible. But then he parred 16. He two-putted just off the back of the green. And then he birdied 17. Go. And he's walking towards it. And that thing one-hops.
Go, as he's walking towards it.
It looked like it was going to like... stop, and then it picks up a tremendous amount of speed, and then it just stops again. I'm like, okay. So then he
One of the
buries.
broadcasters, I don't know which one it was like, that's Irish luck right there on how that kicked towards the hole.
Yeah.
Because it could have
Kicked
kicked the wrong way.
And then he has a tough chip to save par. And then going to 18. I could be walking to 18 with a 4-stroke lead, and I probably could make a 9. That tee shot looks fucking impossible.
The tee shot is tight. I don't know how. Like, you see Tiger's tee shot on 18 when he won it. Like, you could tell that's obviously none of us. We've never been there, but even on TV, it looks super tight, and I can't imagine in person how much tighter that fairway is, especially with the bunker on the left. There's just not a huge window to put your tee shot.
Yep.
And he hit a beautiful one.
Yep.
And where do you think like the normal tees are on that hole?
The members'
like,
tees are 6,600 yards, somewhere in there. So 1,000 yards up throughout the course.
So that one's got to be pushed up quite a bit because there's no way they have the members.
It's under 400 yards, I think. Yeah. It's a lot of the par 4s and 5s. The members' tees are moved up because I think the 3s are all about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of the par 4s are
500 yards.
100 yards. Yeah, 100 yards.
Hole number 3 is 495.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. But on 18, so I turned the broadcast back on. We finally get back to a room. Turn the broadcast on, and he's got that, 4 or 5 foot putt. And I'm like, oh, okay, this must be for birdie. He misses it and goes over and taps in, and he drops a stroke. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck did I miss? So I went back and I rewatched, and I was like, oh, he had a bunker shot, and then that 4 to 5 footer was his par to win the Masters, and he fucking missed it.
As soon as he missed it, I'm like, it's over.
I had the same reaction on 13 when he hit the wedge in the water. I had the same reaction on 18 when he hit in the bunker. Like, how do you miss? Like, he had a ton of grain to work with, in my opinion.
Far.
Yeah, like
10 degrees to the right.
When I saw that thing splash in the sand, I was like, this is fucking over. It's over again. Like, because Bryson shot on 18. Bryson hit his approach shot, and I was like, this is what Rory needs to do. It was a perfect, you hit it into the middle green, let it come off the backstop off the middle of that green to 12 feet, two putt par, you're out of there. Mm-hmm. And he fucking flares it out right into the bunker, and in the gasp from the gallery, you just know that, like, he's gonna probably.
But the other thing is realistically, that was a pretty easy bunker shot. Like, he has green to work with coming out of the sand. The green doesn't slope away from him too much after the hole. Realistically, it'd be an uphill putt. He could have gone after the hole, and he just didn't.
Well, it was only a 4 or 5 footer. Was it closer than the U.S. Open one, or was it further?
It was further, but I'm saying the bunker shot before he could have made more of a run at. Like, he had so much green, and it would have been an uphill putt the other way if he went longer the hole.
Yeah, he should have probably put it past the hole than keeping it 4 or 5 feet short of the hole. And I think one of the guys in the booth said it. He's like, "Oh, I'll be honest, this is a routine bunker shot." He holed out from it
Rory 3 years ago.
Yeah. Like, this isn't a crazy bunker shot. It's not super difficult. But I think that putt, just standing over that putt, he had to wait for Bryson to putt out. Bryson did the right thing. Putt it out for par. Let Rory take the moment. And I think I can't believe he missed it. It's insane.
So before we get to the playoff, in which is the 17th up and down of a Rory fan, what are your guys' thoughts on the whole selection on number 16, going back to the 50th anniversary of when Jack made that putt to get his 5th green jacket, versus that where the hole is normally in that left front-ish corner?
Bottom.
Do you think it mattered much? Did you have?
It was the guys were saying it was a much more difficult pin location.
Oh yeah,
up on the top tier. So they said, like, they were worried about it. And Rory even said it. He's like, it was either Rory or Justin said, I did not like my like going up to 16. I was nervous about that tee shot. It was actually Rory who said that. I was nervous as hell on 16 because that's a hole that he thought he could blow up on. So he was super happy with his approach shot on 16. But yeah, I kind of like the other pin location. It gives a little bit more drama of like the crowd roaring as it races towards the hole coming off the slope.
Yeah,
But I think it's a cool little nod to the putt that Nicholas
Jack made.
made 50 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I think if it's a harder pin, make it the harder pin. I feel like the other one, like there's definitely a handful of pins on the Sunday that are very gettables for the players. It seems like they kind of offset pins throughout the 4 days of, okay, these holes are going to have the really tough pins on these days, and then it's going to be semi easier. Because it seemed like
Yeah,
if you,
I felt like the course almost played harder Thursday and Friday. It seemed like.
yeah, it felt like there were definitely some pins that were hard, and it seems like Augusta, and then this is just from watching through the fucking TV and playing on the video game, is that it's very risk versus reward of like if you get to those bowls, your ball's going to be to feet, if not inches, but if you're not, good luck two putting. So
Right.
which is cool,
Or
but,
getting it getting it close. Yeah.
but no, then we go to the playoff. And I was a fucking nervous wreck. Rose has been dialed all day. I feel like Rory was fighting his driver most of the day on probably the arguably that and 17, I would say, are some of the tougher driving holes. And he hits it just as perfect as he did in the 72nd hole of the tournament. And I thought it was good that Rory has the distance he does versus Rose, that he gets to go second. Rose hits a great shot. The one thing that was weird, and they even mentioned, is that the ball didn't roll back off that hill. They said he had to have been inches away from rolling back.
I think if he hits it a foot further, like if that first hop is a foot further, he is almost the exact same spot as Rory. Yeah, he almost dunked it on the second or on after the first hop.
I know. And then Rory hits it, looks like it's strong towards the hole, and it hits and starts spinning, and I start going bananas, pushing the ball towards the fucking tee, towards the fucking hole. Like, get closer, then Rose.
You gotta get it as close as fucking possible for him to make this goddamn putt.
I'm like, this
Put it in the hole.
I'm like, just fucking
just hole
go
out,
in, please. Like, I did not want to see another slippery 5-foot putt.
Instead, you got a slippery 3-footer.
Even after Rose's tee shot, though, I was like, that's probably when I was like the most nervous, was after his tee shot on the playoff hole, because I'm like, Rory has to hit the fairway, because if he leaks it into the bunker, like it's very hard to get up and down.
Well,
for
Liam
par
Ludwig made this
from
7.
that fairway, but yeah, he made a 7 on 18 being in that bunker. So I was like, Rory has to hit the fairway after Rose's tee shot, or else he's toast. And then he sticks it to 3 or 4 feet.
Yep, and then it fucking goes in, and the monkey that weighs the fucking size of Godzilla, the weight of Godzilla, is finally off fucking Rory's back.
We see it immediately.
The crazy amount of emotion, the excitement. It seemed like, I know for sure the old heads of golf wanted Rory, but it seemed like just everyone kind of, a lot of people, not everyone, I'll say a lot of people wanted Rory, just because of the shit he's gone through and kind of where his career has turned up to, and is he ever going to win? Is he ever going to win another major? Was he just going to be some young prodigy? But he gets the career Grand Slam done and being the 6th guy to do it. Now, I have my thoughts of Rory leading further on and kind of what's next for him, but what are your guys' kind of?
Well, I don't know if there's a bunch of people that wanted him to win. I think people just were over the story of, when's Rory going to get it done? Is Rory going to get it done? When's Rory going to win the Masters? And Rory said it best, like, all right, what are we going to talk about next year now? Because I'm done. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I clearly am not the hugest Rory fan, but I told you guys afterwards, like, I didn't get to watch him walking off and whatnot, because then they started doing more shit to Jet, and seeing him, I went back and rewatched it, and I'm laying in bed putting Jet to sleep after the whole accident and whatnot, and watching him walk off and hug all the other green jacket guys and go over to his wife and his daughter, and I'm like, that right there is worth 1,000 times more than the money, the green jacket, the career Grand Slam, grabbing your daughter, being a dad now, Corey, you don't understand it quite as
No.
much. You might understand it, but you will really understand it once you get to the point. Like it changes your life for the better,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that would mean 100 times more to me than any of that other shit.
100%.
Seeing him get to have that moment is like would be a dream come true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the CBS broadcast did such a good job of capturing that entire sequence of him making the putt all the way up until he says, "Now let's go get a fucking green jacket" or whatever he said. Like, there was no commentary. It was just watching him, be overcome with emotion, hug it out with Justin Rose, which I think Justin Rose seems like an upstanding human being, and just seems like a really good dude, for being gracious in defeat, going and giving him a hug. His walk up to his wife and daughter, and then all the celebration afterwards. I think CBS did a great job of just like letting us soak in that moment without hearing a whole bunch of people talk. So I thought it was a really cool thing to watch.
Well, I think it was just Jim Nantz being Jim Nantz and having the experience that he did of how well just let it be what it's gonna be. And
Right.
I mean, I definitely got whether it's cringe or not, like emotional about it, like seeing the create. I mean, the thing is too, it's like been a massive Rory fan and the emotion that he showed, which is I love seeing it. It's Rory or whoever. It just feels like when other guys win golf tournaments now, it's just pretty
Business
like
as usual. Yeah.
business as usual. But we saw the multitude of what it meant of all those years, and he even said in the post win kind of interview of that, he goes, I never really understood. He goes, I tried coming in every year with positive hat on, just go and do my thing, not overthink it too much. And then he goes, after winning it, I kind of really got the feel of how much that was weighing on him. But yeah, I thought the way CBS did it after him walking through, hugging his daughter, seeing how much it meant, and him and Harry, and what Rosie did was unbelievable. I mean, that's his second time losing in a playoff at Augusta. He lost in 2017 to Sergio. And then even
he's been in the final pairing 3 times now. Or I guess he wasn't in the final pairing, but he's been in the final pairing like 3 times before this. Obviously, a playoff again.
He's led the tournament 5 times after Thursday.
Most ever. Yeah.
Yep, and then Rory going to hug Rose's wife, seeing all of his friends. It was just unbelievable. Just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I said it before. I was pretty much on the Bryson bandwagon for most of the week until Sunday. It's like, do I really want to see Rory lose it again, or do I want to see him complete the career Grand Slam and just get that monkey off his back? I think it was a cooler story, in my opinion, than seeing Bryson win. So I'm really glad it happened. It was probably the most dramatic stretch of golf we've seen in a while, probably since Tiger in 2019. And that roller coaster was just a crazy way. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of golf guys out there, and probably not a ton of people can I don't know, see it, but I'm sure there's a ton of guys emotional watching that sequence of him winning it, seeing the emotion. Even if you're not a Rory fan, you're just like, holy shit. Like, you can see how much it meant to him. He said it was, the way he phrased it, he's like, it's the best golf moment of my life. It's never going to beat my marriage or having a child, but it is by far like the peak of my career accomplishments.
Well, it's because you can win the U.S. Open or the PGA or the Open and cement yourself as a major winner, but when you win at Augusta, you cement yourself into the golf legacy forever.
Yep.
That's just what it is, and I feel like 99.9% of the golf world thinks of it like that, and that was the one he was missing. Like, if he was missing the PGA, it would suck he didn't have the Grand Slam, but he had a green jacket. But he was missing the most coveted one of the 4.
Who would be the next person to get the career Grand Slam?
Hard not to pick Scotty.
Are you saying closest or like?
Yeah, who's the closest?
Well, Xander,
because Phil has
Spieth is missing one. He's missing the
PGA.
Spieth
Doesn't Phil have 3 though? He's missing the
Phil's
PGA.
missing the U.S. Open, and Phil has come
the
second
US
place
Open.
in that thing like 6 times.
I didn't realize Spieth won the Masters and the U.S. Open in 2015.
Mm-hmm. That he beat Dustin Johnson when DJ 3-putted on 18.
And
But I
then
was
the
looking at it.
2017 Open. Yeah.
I was looking at Scotty's record because Caitlin asked me the same question, like who would be like the next person to have a career Grand Slam, and I said Scotty right away, but he only has the Masters. He doesn't have a different.
I mean, Xander has the Open and the PGA.
I don't think Scotty's going to win an Open.
No, I don't think. I think realistically, I think Bryson could get 3 of the 4. I don't think he has the game to win the Open. I think he hits the ball too high, and he doesn't seem like his swing will let him hit it low. But I think Bryson could win 3 of 4.
I mean, he has the U.S. Does he? Is it just the U.S.
So
Open?
Phil's
or
just
does he have a
missing
PGA?
the U.S. Open. Who?
Phil
Bryson?
won't get the Slam. He's too old.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'll get it. But I think like if you look at people that have 3 of the 4, I think it's just Spieth, and Phil.
Then at 2 is Xander. Oh, there's probably a long list. Brooks.
Bryson has the U.S. Open and then
the U.S. Open.
Oh yeah, he's only got 2 U.S. Opens.
Yep. 2022 and 2024.
2020 and 2024.
Oh yeah, the COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone. There's for sure no one else at 3.
You said Xander?
Xander has 2. He has the Open and the PGA because that was last year.
From last year, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Brooks has 2. Justin Thomas has 2 PGAs.
Mm-hmm.
So
really, Spieth and Scotty only has the Masters, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Scotty, it goes back to what we said before, might be kind of like a semi-regular golf course merchant. Well, Quail Hollow is a semi-regular golf course, and he didn't play when Rory won the Wells Fargo last year because he just got off of winning one of his a bazillion events last year. Oakmont's a pretty simple style U.S. Open course. It's not like Pinehurst, so maybe Scotty could thrive there. But the other thing is that he won the first one. Now is the conversation, can he do all 4 in 1 year? He's statistically the best player on tour right now for this year. He's won at Quail Hollow 4 times. The U.S. Open is Oakmont. Can kind of beat the golf ball all over the place, depending on what they put the rough at. And then the Open is in Northern Ireland. So,
I don't think he.
Yeah.
I don't think he does it either.
My answer is no, but I do think going kind of piggybacking off of that, I think having the lift weight like that lift off your shoulders might make him even more dangerous than he's ever been.
I think
he
so
might
too.
be the freest golfer ever. Like he might just play out of his fucking mind now.
He has
now
3 wins at arguably some of them. He has the Masters, he has the Players, which is the 5th major. Then he won at Pebble, and he's been up.
Could you imagine getting a career Grand Slam and doing an actual Grand Slam in the same year?
He'd be the only person to ever do it because one other person has held all 4 titles at the same time. It was Tiger when he did 3 in 1 year and
won the
Masters.
following.
It was the Masters the following.
Yeah.
I think the thing of Rory finally winning now, and him still playing so well, all those other majors where he had, like if you look at his wiki page, all the top 10s and all of the other majors, they go from almost getting it done to now these are statistical really good finishes to benefit his longevity in the golf universe. They go from a burden to a bonus.
Who are the other golfers to have the career Grand Slam?
Jack, Tiger, Hogan, Player, Schwarzen, guy from the 30s, and then now Rory. Is that right? Okay. Is that the 6 of them?
Yeah. Ben Hogan.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Rory's more dangerous now than he was before because I think that weight is gone and he can focus less on the Masters now and just be I mean, he is the best golfer on the planet right now. I know he's not world number one, but he's playing better than anybody else.
So how does the official World Golf Rankings points work? So I know Scotty was ahead of a lot of people by double everyone else's points except Rory. I think Scotty was at like 12.8. Rory was 9 something or 8.9.
Yeah, we looked it
Let's
up.
see.
He's got like a 3-point gap. I don't know after the Masters, but him finishing T4 or fourth isn't going to make a. There's
Yeah.
like very little ground he's going
Like
to
if
make
Scotty missed the cut, maybe it's really close, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah, Scotty being so consistent, I think it's going to be hard for
He's at
anybody.
14.55 and Rory's at 11.75.
So he's
Yeah,
still
so
almost
still
3 whole.
two-
And then who's in
yeah.
third? Xander, Colin.
Xander.
Xander
At what?
7.99
Yeah, they're
and
just leaps.
Collins at 6.72.
So if Scotty just continuously keeps playing pretty solid, that's the other thing is he's at 90 some weeks at world number 1. He needs.
So live golfers, they only get points for the majors, right?
Mhm.
So Bryson's in 11th.
Bryson is now 4th on the Ryder Cup points as well.
Yeah, there was a conversation of did Bryson prove his worth on the Ryder Cup team?
Fucking should.
He should. I just
He
don't
fucking
know.
should be on there. I
Well,
feel like Keegan will take him. I think Keegan's young enough. He'll take him. Keegan. I think the thing is Keegan's
know
all
how you
about breaking.
don't.
Keegan's about breaking up the boys' club because the boys' club kept him out of the Ryder Cup, and I think he would be lying to sit there and say like, oh, it might keep some of the guys together when they were the reason he didn't make a lot of the fucking Ryder Cups because they were taking up captain's picks.
yeah.
I
I think if you want to make your best roster, you have to take him.
Wasn't Bryson on it at Whistling Straits a few years
when
ago?
the U.S. beat the fucking brakes off of Europe. But okay, here's the thing, and then we can. I know there's still some things we probably want to summarize at the Masters. Team Europe's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I think it's pretty competitive both sides.
I guess Victor's looked worse. I don't think Colin and Xander look all that great yet. You have Scotty. You have Bryson. What it's going to be? Russell Henley, Daniel Berger, Sam Burns.
Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Well, at this point, fucking captain's going to be playing.
He said he would only play if he's in the top 6 points.
I know.
I think he's like 14 or 16 or something. Unless he's higher up.
I do think that they're going to be a problem because you have Ludwig, you have
Rory,
the guys of
Shane.
Yeah,
Shane
Rory,
is old. Shane's one of the best tee to green guys on the tour right now, if not like at least top 5. Maybe not the best. Might be Rory or Scotty or Colin, but he's top 5. Victor's starting to kind of turn it around.
Yeah, you're rounding out that team with guys like Tommy Fleetwood and shit like that. So your roster is super solid all the way around.
John Rahm.
Yeah, but I still think, if you look at it on paper, I think maybe the European team's maybe a slightly stronger, but I guess I'm biased, but I'm gonna say that Team USA is better.
I mean, I think Bethpage is a very interesting course. I think there's definitely the opportunity to beat the piss out of the golf ball for guys like Scotty and Bryson, and say Brooks makes it. Doubtful, but say he does. There's opportunity for guys like that, but it really rewards ball striking from guys like Colin and Russell Henley and Daniel Berger, and Maverick McNeely is 6, I think, on the Ryder Cup points. So that'd be someone that people never thought of to be on that team. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But back to the Masters. Really weird that CBS kicked off the green jacket presentation for 60 minutes and we had to watch it through the app. I don't know if you guys ended up watching the green jacket presentation.
I watched it later on YouTube because I was at the emergency room.
I watched on CBS. They had the coverage of just Jim Nance and like the commissioner, and then Scheffler and Rory sitting around the table and him getting presented the green jacket. But I didn't watch the the full coverage outside on the green or whatever.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool. I watched it. Scotty did not look like he wanted to be there.
No, he was ready to get
No,
the fuck
Scotty
out of there.
hates losing. No one hates losing more than that guy. And like Schmitty and Mark were texting. It's like, do these two guys hate each other? It's like, I don't think as people they hate each other, but they love winning so much they hate when they don't win. Like, I don't think they dislike each other. I just think they dislike that Scotty won, or when Rory'd be mad, or when Rory wins, Scotty's mad. I think that's what it is. I mean, what's your thought?
No, I agree. I like the comment by Rory. I really hope I'm sitting here in Scotty's chair, or I will be sitting here in Scotty's chair next year, hopefully crowning myself again, or putting the green jacket, on myself
back
again.
on myself.
Well, wouldn't it Scotty be presenting it to him again? Like, what? How does that work? Like when
I don't know
Tiger
how that
went
works.
back to back, was it Tiger was?
My guess is that
no, because VJ was 2000. Tiger was 0102 when he went back to back.
no. Well,
I guess maybe like the commissioner or something puts it on.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I
Like,
don't think you just pick it up and put it on your. Oh, I don't think that they'd bring the I don't know.
previous the 2
Because then it would have been
ago.
VJ. VJ was 2000.
Yeah, we'd have to look it up. I was curious on that. I think Caitlin even asked it too. Is like, who presents the green jacket if they win back to back? I didn't have an answer for it. And I didn't.
Well, it's only
look it up.
happened 3 other times.
Because Scotty didn't go back to back, right? He won one, lost
he won
one.
22, then Rahm, and then back to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of hating people, did you hear Bryson's interview? It was like he was asked something about Rory. I don't know. He didn't say a single word to me all day.
He goes, did Rory talk to you? No, he didn't talk to me all day. It's like, so you know how he was doing? No, he was just kind of doing his thing. And he kind of like said it like sarcastically. It's like,
yeah.
It's, and now people... Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he followed it up with, he's like, he didn't say a single word to me. That's not me. That's what he said. He's like, that's not me. I wouldn't do that. Essentially, is what he's saying. It's like, I didn't like that comment at all, because it's like, if Tiger's not doing it, Rory's not doing it, especially when he's trying to complete his career Grand Slam. If it was me, I'm not fucking talking to Bryson on the tee box and shooting the shit while I'm trying to win the fucking Masters. Like, Rory on the first tee box said good luck, like he shook his hand like you should, but I would be so in the zone that I wouldn't even be paying one lick of attention to Bryson at that point.
Who was it? Was it Tony Finau that played with Tiger?
Yeah.
Hey, how are the? It was kept trying to talk to him.
How are the kids doing?
They're good.
They're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
He's like, yeah. I'm not talking to him anymore.
I mean, Tiger was praised for the fact of him being in the hunt on a Sunday and being so locked in, and now Rory does it, and a lot of people, big baby, like he cries, wants it his way, and like, oh, he's not talking to Bryson. It's like,
I didn't think he was a baby for it. I thought it was funny. I thought Bryson was kind of being a little baby about it.
He was being a little bitch about it.
Oh no, he didn't talk to me. Like,
yeah, there was no other comments this week. Yeah.
I think Bryson's a doofus. I think his YouTube golf is fun as YouTube, and I love it. I think he's a lot more likable than what he was 4 or 5 years ago when he was talking about grams of force and mass, and I guess he's still doing it, talking about degree of miss, but I think he's a doofus. I think he's just tough to listen to sometimes. And then it's like the more people saying it's like, oh, like he stayed for an interview. It's like, I thought you were supposed to leave and slam the trunk door. It's like Bryson lost the tournament on hole 13. He didn't lose it on 18 when he missed a putt. And if that's what he wants to do to build his character, that's fine. I'm like, Rory came to the point where he's like, I've been playing on tour for 16 years. He goes, I don't care what people think about me if I'm going to storm out and leave after a major. He goes, I think it's you live long enough to like see yourself die a hero or become a villain. And I think Rory eventually kind of became the villain in a lot of people's eyes. And he just went out and got stuff done.
Right, because he's cheating on his wife.
I did, yeah. Justine, my wife, was kind of asking me about that. Of like, didn't he cheat on his wife with this the media girl? And I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but it was definitely suspicious. But
it's the girl that interviewed him all fucking weekend is the girl that they thought he cheated on with.
Yeah,
cheated on her with.
It was really, really weird.
That's gotta be awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna bring up that comment that Bryson made because I I didn't like it. It's like you could answer that in like, no, we kept to it. There's other ways to answer that, and I feel like he could have left it because they asked him twice. He said it first. He's like, no, we didn't really talk today. And then obviously the reporter's like, oh, let's get into that a little bit. Let's see what else we can dig up there. And it was where he was like, nah, that's not me. Like pretty much saying I would talk to, I'd be
Right.
talking to the person next to me. It's like, but you're not Rory, who's been chasing this for this long. Like there's just a time and place, and I think Rory has every right to be locked in and not say a word to Bryson. Like it's just
Like I feel like if I'm in the hunt for a major golf tournament, it's like I can. It'd be really bad just not talking about anything, but you have your caddy to sit there and talk to. Like he talked to Harry the entire day, but there's no need to fucking talk to Bryson.
right.
And I think the relationship between Rory and Harry, from player to caddy standpoint, is really it's really cool because you see a lot of other caddies who are giving reads, talking to a lot of stuff like shot selection, this kind of stuff, and Harry just kind of stands there and talks to Rory when he feels he needs to talk to him. It's cool they've known each other since they were 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a
I
cool
just
little story about on the tee box on the playoff hole. Harry was like, we would take this in a heartbeat on Monday, this past Monday. We would take it in a heartbeat if we were standing here.
Yep.
So just go out there and get it done. And I think Harry's probably the perfect person to keep Rory in check and probably a little bit more level headed than all those thoughts racing through his head. So it's cool to see them do it together.
Yep. But he finally fucking did it. I was so happy. I think it was just a great story. And kind of Chase, like you said earlier, the monkey's off the back. Like it could mean the floodgates are opening, or it just could mean he's going to taper off. Maybe he retires early. Who knows? I don't think so. I think he's playing too well. If you look at all the stats across the tour, he's one of the best or the best. So who knows what's in store for Roars, but thank fucking God he finally did it.
He did it. That putt wasn't even the putt on the playoff hole that he made wasn't even the heart of the cup. It was leaking out left a little bit. So somebody was like, I think one of the guys, Rory or somebody, was like, it didn't feel great, but it did, it fucking won me the tournament. But it's scary. It's because he just missed that putt on the 18th right before that to go into the playoff. But yeah, it was a great weekend of golf. I don't think it's been any more of like a roller coaster than it was. And I don't think Rory could go out any other way. He couldn't make it an easy finish.
Yep.
No, why would he?
Why fucking would he? Right. That was like, we were talking about it the day before, and I was talking about it in my other group chat. It's, as a Rory fan, I'd love to see him be up by 6 or 7 strokes, and I wouldn't have to stress, and I can watch him win a green jacket. But I think for TV purposes, which is the highest it's been since Patrick Reed's win, is what they said. The peak viewership was the highest it's been since Patrick Reed's win, which was weird that it was Patrick Reed. But ended up being good TV. Made a playoff hole. So still was nervous as fuck, but he did it. But one person who did do also really well. What?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say one person who also did really well through the Masters was with the birdies, beers, and breakaways predictions. One individual did incredibly well, collecting 3 of the 4 categories.
I think we just had a rough week overall. Like some of them were close from Jacob, but we were way off on some of the other ones.
I think the closest one I was on was best finishing live golfer compared to you, and then the Eagles. I was 18, Jacob was 21. There were 28 Eagles, so Jacob got a point there. Best finishing live golfer was Patrick Reed. The next close one was Bryson, so Jacob got another point there. The most points in one round. So we couldn't get an official number without going through and counting every single statistic. So we found the highest average putt per holes on any of the rounds, and it was 1.94. Multiplied that out, rounds up to 35. and Jacob guessed 32, so he won that. But the one that Jacob did not win was total double bogeys or worse at the Masters, and it was 100 plus. And Chase had 53. I had 9. I don't know what I was thinking. There was probably more than fucking 9 on Thursday.
I had
Nick
a shit
Dunlap
ton of
probably
Eagles.
had
I think
9.
I said like, yeah. Nick Dunlap had a lot. Hogard had a lot. I looked it up. We were looking it up, kind of compiling the stats, and on Thursday alone there was 64 double bogeys. So that the single round on Thursday eclipsed any of our predictions. So I thought that was kind of comical that we were way off.
Yeah, it was an interesting day.
One last thing I found was pretty cool. So every Masters champion gets 15 things from Augusta. Do you know what those 15 things are?
I know most of them, I think.
Probably not.
Oh.
So everybody gets the green jacket, of course. You get your name engraved on the trophy. Then you get a replica trophy for your home because you don't get to take the green jacket.
It's like half the size.
Yeah. They give you a gold medal, which I didn't know about that. They also give you a golden locket, and in the locket, it's the shape of the United States, and inside of it, I think, is a picture of Ben Hogan.
It's meant to be. I think that's meant to be for your wife.
Is it?
I saw like the story behind it.
I know one of the gifts. Yeah.
Hogan was like, I want to represent the women as well.
Oh, you get invited to the Masters dinner, the Champions dinner. You get a honorary membership at Augusta for life. You're in the the Champions locker. You have the Champions range. I didn't know there was a difference. There's 2 different ranges there.
I didn't know that until this year.
Yeah. So all the champions get their own range, and then everybody else is on the peon range.
Nice.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Yeah, a lifetime invite to just. I don't know. There's. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Lifetime invite to the Masters. You get 750 FedEx points, 5-year major exemption, 5-year card extension, and then you get a special tee time on Monday to bring whoever you want. Like this year, Scotty brought his mom. Him and his mom had a round on Monday together. And then you get $3.6 million.
It was 4.2 this year.
Was it 4.2? Okay, well, that must have been last year's 3.6.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. I had no idea about the pendant, the gold coin or medal, or the locket until this year.
Yeah,
and I had no idea about the champion driving range either until this year. I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
some cool shit that you get for winning a golf tournament.
Right.
And then what also is cool is that if you make an eagle, you get a crystal highball glass from Augusta.
Oh.
So like Patrick Reed got one for 17. Rory probably walked away with like 5 additional highball glasses from all the eagles he made.
You should get one taken away for every double bogey he had too, though.
Yeah.
So he's only walking away with one because he had 4 doubles.
Yeah. But the best.
What do you think's going to be on Rory's menu? What's from Northern Ireland that is going to be a little beef? Some.
I don't know if he goes. Oh, we lost Chase.
Huh.
We lost him. I don't know if he goes traditional.
Right.
Or if he goes.
I also didn't know that they're in charge of paying for all that too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think it's that big of a deal for all the pros when it comes to it.
No, it's definitely not, but it's just fun to think about.
But our favorite week of golf is over. The best app to watch sports on is over. It's gone. It's off the phone. Don't know if I was excited for the PGA. Just kind of gonna let my golf high dwindle a little bit. I'll probably watch some of the RBC, which I think it's stupid. They have an elevated event right after it.
Yeah.
But
my hot take for the day. See if Chase hops back on. But would you rather play Augusta National one time with
Mm-hmm.
whoever you want, whatever foursome, or have Masters Sunday tickets for life?
I saw this. I'm playing Augusta one time.
You're playing Augusta one time.
Playing Augusta one time.
Hmm. Why?
I mean, the opportunity to get to play Augusta National, I think is crazy. I feel like it's a lot easier to get the chance to go to Augusta, whether through lottery or through just knowing someone, like buying tickets or whatever. But I feel like being able to say you played that course. I know people who've gone to Augusta. I don't know anyone who's played Augusta.
Right. That was my hot take for the week, Chase, was would you rather play Augusta National one time or have lifetime tickets on it for Sunday?
Play it.
You'd rather play it one time.
I think so because like as good as like it would be to go there every Sunday, the coverage from the comfort of your home, like you're seeing a lot more of the golf tournament. So like if I experienced it once on the course to give me like the feel of the course and the layout to like give me a true understanding of how crazy the shots they are pulling it off, then I would just be cool with watching it at home, I think. But my buddy from work who got me the hat that I wore last year, I didn't realize he's been to Augusta, and he went on Sunday and said it was incredible. He said because he's been there a couple times, kind of knew the lay of the land, knew where to go to hit up, a lot of the groups coming through the first couple holes. Then he switched to like 11 and 12 or 12 and 13. Then he sat up. He said he really likes to watch 16 and then he watched 18 with Rory. And once he saw him hit it in the bunker, he was in the middle. He was like on the left of the fairway. He said he just stayed there because he thought that there could be a chance they'd play through again. So he said he was right next to like the left of the tee box on the playoff, and then followed the group in on the playoff hole. I was like, I fucking am super jealous.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
He said he got in super late, but yeah, I was a little jealous.
That's awesome. But that's all I have from the Masters, fellas.
That
That's all I
wraps it
got.
up.
Just the crazy.
No predictions this week for the. It's too crazy of a week to get into more golf next week, but
yeah, I was just telling
pick it up
Jake while you were gone that my golf high is going to come down, and I'll probably tune into the RBC. I doubt, because it's a signature event. I don't know why they do a SIG event right after a majors.
Right after.
They do this frequently now. I don't think Rory will play. I don't expect him to see him out there.
I don't blame him.
I think he'll eat the fine after collecting a $4.5 million paycheck. I think he'll be perfectly fine just accepting the whatever $10,000 fine it is. But nope.
Go back to Northern Ireland, celebrate with the fam, and get back.
Yeah, he said he was going to see them next week, so
yep.
I don't think he's playing.
Nope.
But I saw you're getting ready to get locked in. You got your net set up in the backyard.
Yeah, that was the third time.
I don't know if you got it set up. You're fighting it.
I did eventually get it set up. I thought I could keep the stakes inside of it and just kind of fold it up, and it would be easier to set up. That was a fucking nightmare. But I did get it up, and I spent just shy of an hour and a half hitting some foam golf balls into there. I do really.
Hey, Bryson.
I do really need to get a better pad to hit golf balls off of. It's just the little thing that Amazon net gives you is shit. But nope, just working on some things. Working on the swing. So it was weird.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get out to the range before our Friday outing. So we'll see how fucking terrible I am.
Just remember, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
I'll do that.
You don't think you can get to the range?
I don't think so. We'll see.
I haven't played since Thursday, so.
That one course is fucking destroyed. It finally has no water on it, but it's bad. It looks terrible out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're my closest range. So and then the other golf course was also underwater. So we'll see where I can get out to.
The range will probably be open though. At least they can get that open relatively quick. No.
Do they have pads? No.
Mm-mm.
No, it's grass.
Not at not at the one that I normally go to. So we'll do some investigation. Maybe I'll try to get out at some point. But if not, we'll just hit the ground running.
Fucking rights.
Nope.
I'm gonna try and get out.
Let's go
someday.
Blues.
Yep. Blues still have a chance to lock the playoffs. My Wings are eliminated.
Blackhawks are in it still.
No, they're not. Blackhawks officially have the second best odds to get
They're
the number
really
one overall
far in.
pick. You do not want number one overall pick this year.
They won tonight. They actually kind of
They
fucked
beat
over
Montreal.
the.
Demidov looked disgusting.
Yeah, they messed up the Canadiens' chance to clinch it. If the Canadiens would have won their 2 points, they would have clinched it. But the Blue Jackets have been playing great. So if they went out and the Canadiens lose their last game in regulation, the Blue Jackets can win. But all the Blues have to do tomorrow is beat the Utah Hockey Club in regulation to clinch a playoff spot. So fingers crossed.
When do the Flames
We've
play
been
next?
terrible since we lost Dylan Holloway.
When do the
Well,
Flames?
The
They play
Flames
tonight?
play the Kings,
No, the Knights.
the Knights, then the Kings. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know if the Golden Knights are starting to rest players or not, since they're already clinched and locked into their spot. So I think, the Blues control their destiny on the way out. So that's the best thing you can ask for. Instead of having to wait and see what somebody else does, they can just go out and win tomorrow. At home, last game of the regular season. So, yeah, we've been on the struggle bus since we lost Dylan Holloway.
The hockey club's eliminated, so maybe they'll let you.
The
Calgary
Sharks
has-
are fucking eliminated.
Yeah, Calgary has 2 games left. That's the thing. So just win and you're in.
Yeah, but that regulation win will get you in because they own the tiebreaker at that point for regulation wins, and then they would even own the tiebreaker for overtime and regulation wins. So,
Yep.
crazy.
Heck
Right.
yeah.
All right, fellas.
Cheers.
All
Cheers,
right.
boys. That's all I
Cheers.
got. Happy Masters.